Once upon a time in the vast emptiness of space, God decided to create a beautiful home. Picture this, nothing but an infinite void, a blank canvas if you will, waiting to be painted with the wonders of creation. On the first day, God had a brilliant idea. He said, "Let there be light." And just like that, the darkness that filled the space was pierced by a radiant glow. This light was something special, something good. God saw this and decided to separate it from the darkness. He called the light day and the darkness night. This was the very first day in the history of everything, a day of light. Waking up to the second day, God thought, what's a beautiful home without a sky? So, he created an expanse in the midst of the waters and called it sky. Imagine a magnificent blue canopy stretching out as far as the eye can see, separating the waters below from the waters above. The second day was a day of sky. On the third day, God had another amazing idea. He said, let the waters under the sky be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. The waters formed seas, and from beneath them, land emerged. God looked at the land and seas and saw that they were good. He then decided to add a bit of color and life to the land. He created vegetation, plants yielding seed, and trees bearing fruit. The third day was a day of land and life. So, in the blink of an eye, or rather 3 blinks, God had created light, the sky, and the land. But this was just the beginning of a masterpiece in the making. The canvas of creation was starting to take shape, but it still had many strokes of genius left to be added. In only 3 days, God had created light, the sky, and the land. But his work was far from over. After creating the base of our world, God wasn't tired at all. He had more amazing things to create. On the 4th day, God thought, why not light up the night sky? So he created the stars, each one of them a brilliant twinkle in the vast canvas of the night. But he didn't stop there. He created the moon to keep the night company and the sun to brighten up the day. But the sky felt a little too quiet. So on the 5th day, God created the birds, each one a unique masterpiece. Some birds were as small as your thumb, while others had wingspans wider than a grown-up's arms. They filled the sky with their delightful songs and vibrant colors. Then God turned his attention to the waters. He thought these waters should teem with life too. And so, he created the fish. From the tiny guppies to the massive whales, each one was special in its own way. The ocean became a bustling city of marine life, each creature playing its part in the cycle of life. Now it was time for the 6th day. God looked at the land and thought, this land needs inhabitants too. So, he created the land animals. He made them in all shapes and sizes. There were towering elephants and tiny ants, speedy cheetahs and slow tortoises. Each animal had a role to play in the grand scheme of things. The land was now alive with the sounds of the animal kingdom. But even after creating the land, the sea, the sky, and filling them with life, God felt that his work was not yet complete. There was still something missing, something very special. He knew exactly what it was, but that's a story for the next scene. So, in 6 days God created the earth and filled it with life. But there was still something missing. God looked at the beautiful world he had created and decided it needed someone special. In this unique world teeming with life and beauty, God felt something was missing. It was a world filled with majestic mountains, lush green forests, crystal clear rivers, and a stunning variety of animals. But it needed someone to appreciate it, someone to take care of it. So God decided to create the very first humans. Our story now takes us to the creation of Adam. God took a handful of dust from the ground, and with a breath of life, transformed it into a living being. This was Adam, the first man. God made Adam in his own image, bestowing him with wisdom, strength, and a heart capable of love and kindness. But God knew that Adam shouldn't be alone. He needed a companion, someone who would share the joys and challenges of life with him. So while Adam was in a deep sleep, God took one of his ribs and created Eve, the first woman. Like Adam, Eve was made in God's image. She was wise, strong, and kind-hearted. God then gave Adam and Eve a special place to live, the Garden of Eden. This was no ordinary garden. It was a paradise filled with beautiful flowers, delicious fruits, and crystal-clear streams. They could eat from any tree in the garden except for one, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. God told them to take care of the garden, to live in harmony with nature, and to love and take care of each other. In this way, God completed his creation. He had created a beautiful world and filled it with diverse creatures. But most special of all, he had created humans, made in his own image, to live in and take care of this wonderful world. And so, The first humans, Adam and Eve, began their life in the beautiful Garden of Eden. After 6 days of creation, God decided to take a break. Imagine working tirelessly for 6 straight days, creating the sky, the land, the sea, and all the creatures that roam and swim and fly. It's quite a task, isn't it? So, on the 7th day, God chose to rest. This day of rest wasn't just about catching some Z's. It was about taking a moment to appreciate the work done, to reflect on the beauty and wonder of it all. This day became known as the Sabbath, a special day of rest and reflection. Just like God, we too need rest. We need time to recharge, to gather our thoughts, and to simply enjoy the world around us. Rest is not just about sleeping, it's about taking a pause from our busy lives to appreciate what we have. And that's how in 7 days God created the world we live in today. Now you might be wondering, what can we learn from this story? Well, dear friends, there are many lessons to take away from the story of Genesis. One of the biggest lessons we can learn is to appreciate the beauty of the world around us. Just think about it. God took the time to create each and everything in this world, from the smallest grain of sand to the largest mountain, from the tiniest bug to the most magnificent whale. Everything has a purpose, and everything is important. And because God created all these wonderful things, it's our responsibility to take care of them. That means we should be kind to animals, respect nature, and do our best to keep the world clean and beautiful. After all, this world is a gift from God, a gift that we should cherish and protect. So let's always remember to care for our beautiful world, just as God intended when He created it.